Good night, everyone. Tonight I'll be reading a few writing prompts and Ida from Reddit while I work on the start of a new Minecraft world. Sorry if I'm a little slow while playing, I'm still getting used to mouse and keyboard. First, we have a writing prompt by Zavira. You lost your sight along with everyone else on Earth. In the Great Blinding, 2 years later without warning, your sights return. As you look around, you realize that every available wall, floor, and surface has been painting with the same message. Don't tell them you can see. The most upvoted comment is by Chaos30. It goes, I thought I was the only individual affected. I was sitting at my desk working on a school paper, and in an instant, everything went black. I had cried out to my parents in fear and confusion, but their response was like an echo of my own. They too could see, and we soon learned the entire world had been victim by having their sight filled with darkness. Interesting enough, we don't think this affected any of the animals living on Earth, just us humans. The only strange thing that occurred after that was the fact that demand for milk skyrocketed. First, adapting was very difficult. Something as mundane and simple as using the bathroom had become a daily challenge I didn't look forward to. Within a few months, support groups had been created by individuals who were already blind prior to the incident. They assisted those who were struggling with adapting to the newfound obstacle. Thankfully, the world never stopped moving or progressing. Outside of major adjustments that had been made, such as devising different mode of transportation or different requirements and standards in the working world, we managed to pull through. 2 years since the blinding, and there were times where I'd forgotten such an event occurred. I was taking a short walk to the store to get some groceries. I don't know why, but I've developed an almost dependency like state on milk. I had gripped the handle of the door to the small grocery store, pushed open the door. A bell rang on the inside of the handle of the door. Hello, let me know if you need help finding anything, a voice said to my right. Thanks, Dave, I will, I responded. Hey, John, how have you been? He asked with a somewhat enthusiastic tone. With a somewhat slow pace, I walked around the store, feeling along the braille to determine I had found my item. Pretty much the same. With somewhat slow pace, I walked around the store, feeling along the braille to determine if I had found my item. Pretty much the same, I said with a bit of chuckle. My hand touched something cold, finally found the milk. As I was about to open the door, I could see my reflection in the rectangle-shaped window of the cooler. I wasn't entirely sure how to react, nor was I sure as to what happened. I was looking at myself in the mirror for the first time in 2 years. I started shaking, and I could feel warmth and moisture filling my eyes. I noticed writing on the reflection itself. I was so excited I haven't even noticed. In fact, most of the interior was covered in writing. Looked a little close at the message written in black. Don't tell him you can see. What the hell does that mean? Who's them? I then caught a glimpse of the individual standing behind the counter of the store. Who the F is that? John? You need some help, buddy? It asked. It was Dave's voice, but it definitely wasn't Dave. I had no idea. I was staring at something at least 6 foot tall, grotesque, and eldritch was the only way I could describe it. Its dark brown skin was smooth and moist with extremely tiny openings in its skin. It wasn't wearing any type of clothing. Its arms were somewhat long and thin-looking, appendages that ended in human-looking hands. Its head was shaped like a large basketball. The creature's mouth looked to be in a vertical position, and when it spoke, I could see many layers and rows of crocodile teeth. Here, John, let me help you, it said. Its voice had changed as well. It was gurgled and sounded like it was put through a filter. As it moved, I could hear it squish against the floor. That's the first time I've heard that. Why am I hearing this just now? Why have I never heard this before? Instead of gaping at the reflection and trying to assert how it talks, I simply stared at the jug of milk. And that's when I noticed the color of the milk. It wasn't white or brown or any color milk should be. It was dark black. As the creature grew closer, a foul smell harassed my nostrils. It took everything I had not to vomit. It reached out like a human appendage and touched my shoulder. My entire body tensed up. We are having a lot of different specials on milk today, it said. I could see with its mouth open wide behind my head, with what I assumed was a smile. Oh, that story is really interesting. All the details really helped me picture something awesome. Very good story. Very descriptive. Okay, next. Everyone in the comments are demanding that the author write rest. What? Okay, next story. Am I the a-hole by former_monitor_4860. Am I the a-hole for telling my husband that he absolutely ruined the birth of our child? Hi everyone, our child is now 8 weeks old, so obviously this whole argument has gone for a very, very long time. We've both been holding grudges and neither of us talk or think about what went wrong. My husband does not know I am posting this, so I'm going to keep it anonymous as possible. So when I got pregnant with my daughter, my husband started in immediately by telling me I should have a home birth. I really do not know why he's so adamant on that, but he was. At first I brushed him off. I told him I would think about it. It was only 9 weeks pregnant, and the birth seemed so far off. Of course it came quickly, and my husband would literally speak over me at the doctor's appointments when my doctor would ask if I had a birth plan. This caused a few arguments between us in those 39 weeks of pregnancy, but I never really changed my mind. Eventually, my husband's mother sat down and talked to me. She told me all the reasons they did not want me to have hospital birth. I expressed my concerns about, safety of the baby and myself, but just like my husband, she brushed me off. I ended up telling my husband that I would take myself to the hospital when it was time and that I did not want a home birth. He acted as if he didn't hear me. We met with a doula who was also very pushy. I felt overwhelmed and not supported at all. I was 30 weeks at that point. So when I went into labor, I was 39 weeks. I absolutely begged my husband to take me to the hospital where my doctor is. He wouldn't. He spoke to me condescendingly and called out the doula and said I was in labor for 3 days, active labor for around 22 hours. I cried the whole time. I just felt something was wrong. I was so scared, and oftentimes they left me alone. The doula told me that if active pushing in labor reached 24 hours, I had to go to the hospital. I remember thinking I could not decide which was worth staying in labor for another 2 hours. I mean, my baby right here. When she was finally out, I didn't remember wanting to hold her. I just remember crying out of relief. Obviously, I'm okay now, but I did not have a good experience. My first appointment after birth with my doctor, she was very shocked I had the baby. She was concerned. I was so upset. My husband told me that he absolutely ruined it for me. I truly never want to go through that again. I hear mothers say they forget all the pain the second time they have a baby, but I didn't. I love my daughter so much, but it was horrible, and it was entirely his fault. So I told him several times. He rolls his eyes every time. He tells me how mothers are strong and how I am not trying to be strong. I told him that if we had another baby, which he wants, that I would never do a home birth ever again. His response is, "We'll see." I cannot possibly be that a-hole here, can I? Everyone around me is acting so normal, but it's not, is it? I think that story is very unneeded. I don't think a man should have an opinion on where the woman is giving birth, especially when she obviously doesn't want that. So, no, I think she should get a divorce with her husband. I hope you guys are already sleeping. Good night.